Welcome to another tech video. We're going to be looking at a huge Dell 27-inch all-in-one. It's a DT7700. This one's got a Core i7 processor and it's the 1165G7, which comes with 12 meg of cache and it bursts up to 4.7 gigahertz. The screen is 27-inch full HD, so this is not a 4K screen, but it's a full HD, really good quality. And we're going to have a look at it today. So the first thing to note is the size of the box, and on the bottom here we've got some quick release catches that you need to remove. So you've got two on each side, and once they're removed you can, the box will just slide up over the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this unpacked and then we're going to take a look around the system. Once you get inside the box, you've got two additional boxes, one with our keyboard and mouse, one with some documentation, I would have thought, and the power brick. So let's have a look at the power brick. So this is a 90-watt power adapter, and inside here we should have, so we can get into it, we should have our wireless keyboard and mouse. And then down the end here we've got some batteries. So we've got an AA and two AAA. Two AAA for the keyboard, one AA for the mouse. Let's have a look at the packaging. So this is well packaged with, you get silica gel at the top to absorb the moisture. It's got nice, good, strong foam packaging around, holding the unit solid in place. And then once you get the device out of the box itself, you've got this thin foam cover over the unit itself and over the stand as well. So down the bottom here you've got a nice long speaker grill all the way along. Hopefully it'll be fairly good sound. We've got our i7 Intel sticker there. Up the top, if we remove the tab, we should have a pop-up webcam. So this is a, I think this is a 720p webcam, but it's a high resolution one, so you can also use it for signing into Windows. I believe it's got a depth of field option in it. Right, so on the back of the device we've got the following ports all laid out here, so we'll talk through those. The first one that we see here is our Kensington lock. The second one is our power input, which is our 90-watt power. Next one is HDMI out, so that is HDMI 1.4. This one here is HDMI in, so if you wanted to input an HDMI signal, you've got the ability to do that. The next port along here is we've got a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C port. So that is useful for powering your devices and obviously connecting a USB Type C hub if you wanted to use additional USB devices. You can connect a hub into that quite easily. Next port along is our RJ45 port. This is a 10100 gigabit, so it runs at gigabit speeds. Then we've got our USB 2 port with our dongle already installed for our mouse and keyboard. And then we've got three USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type A ports. Then we've got our combined headphone, microphone, headset jack. And then on the back here we've got our card reader 3. So it's a shame they don't put this around the front of the machine because it's going to be a real pain sticking a card reader in the back there. However, if you're using the Type C port, then you could get a Type C hub that comes with a card reader, run the cable round, and that will sit in front of it. The finish overall is nice. It's a silver plastic back. It's got a white surround. And around the front of the screen, as you can see here, it's got a really thin bezel all the way round. That's our pop-up camera with our depth of field sensors for Windows Hello. And our speaker bar at the bottom. One thing to note, so the two AAA batteries go into the keyboard, and the mouse, when you open it up, you get a little tab that says take the dongle out. So you need the dongle for the you need the dongle for the mouse and keyboard, and that will go into the USB 2 port on the back of the unit. So let's turn that round, and the USB 2 port is the black port, so that's where the dongle needs to go. And just insert it in like that, as you can see there. And then pop your battery in to the mouse, remove that, and then the cover will just clip back on. Like that. Turn it on. That should be it, so you should have a light on there. The keyboard on the back here, we've got our on-off switch in the right hand corner, so just flick that on. And then let's go ahead and get the device powered up. The next thing we want to do is we are going to get connected to a network. But before we do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you about the storage options on here. So this comes with a 512 gig SSD drive, which the OS and everything else is installed on, but it also comes with a 1 terabyte hard disk. So the first thing that we got to do, if we go here, we can see our OS drive here, 500 gig, and our data drive here. So we want to make sure that everything, all of your documents are going to save onto that data drive, because once you do the initial install, it won't be set to that. It should, like things do normally, they should always be set to the C drive. So we want to go in and move everything onto the D drive. So we're going to do a right click and go to properties. We're going to go to location, and as you can see here, it's set to the C drive. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that to D. We're going to say OK, and yes, we want to create it, and yes, we want to move any files in there. And you want to go through and do this for every single item that's in this in the users folder. Including the desktop. And the reason for this, if you don't do it, then it just means that when you load all your photos and everything, the drive fills up and you're left with an empty data drive. This should be standard, really, that manufacturers should do, so that when you actually load your machine for the first time, it automatically does all this for you. Okay, so that's all the locations moved. Now you might be wondering why I'm not moving OneDrive. Well, you can't actually move OneDrive. So once you sign in using OneDrive, then you want to go into the options there, and you want to tell OneDrive to save, use the store in your users folder, which is on the D drive. By default, it will try and do it on the C drive, so you must make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to fill up your OS drive. And the same applies for Dropbox and any other online backup services that you use. If it's like Dropbox or OneDrive, you want to make sure that actually when you are pointing the data as part of the initial setup, you want to make sure that you're pointing it to the D drive. Right, so that's that bit done. Now the next thing we can do is we'll go through and have a look at the software that's installed. So if we go into apps, We normally get McAfee bundled in here and different languages of Office 365. So we go through and we're going to remove the unrequired languages for Office 365. Okay, so that's all the versions of Office removed. The next thing we want to remove is McAfee security. And then we're going to restart the PC. Then we're going to go back into our apps and we're going to remove the other bundled software that it comes with. So what you want to do, you want to run through the Windows updates multiple times until eventually it comes back to say there's no further updates for your system. While that's running, I'm curious to know what the quality of the camera looks like, so I'm going to pop the webcam up and we're just going to type in camera and that will start the camera. There we go. Okay, so the way that we determine this, that's really good quality. I like that. It's very good quality. So this is a 2.1 megapixel camera. And it's full HD, 1920 by 1080. And then video quality 1080p at 30 frames a second. Flicker reduction is 60 Hertz. I'm going to set that to 50 Hertz because of the LEDs that we've got in the ceiling here. That's super impressive. That's really, really good quality. So this is going to be used by a businessman local to us, and that's one of the things that he didn't like on his current setup was the quality of the webcam. So he's going to be well pleased with this to join his online meetings and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's have a look at the Windows update. So we've got quite a few bits and pieces to go through here. As you can see, we're on 20H2, so we're now actually 21H2. So that's going to need an upgrade. There we go, 21H1, not 21H2. It's 21H1. That's gonna, we'll let these install run through first of all, and then we'll do the upgrade. Once that's done, we're going to have a look more in depth at the system. Okay, and finally, the last test that we want to do is around the sound. So let's check the sound level to see what we're outputting at. So if we turn it down to normally have it on 60, and let's have a listen. Okay, so that's a nice, rich, really nice, rich sound. Okay, yeah, so the sound is super on this. So just to finish off the video, so this Dell machine comes with Wi-Fi 6, so it's super fast when it's connected to Wi-Fi or whether it's connected to your RJ45 connection. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.